welcome to Watch It Paint It. I just wanted to do a quick video. It's a sort of initial thoughts on the hobby holder. This is currently on Kickstarter and there's only 24 hours left. So I wanted to put up a quick little video before I've got time to use it enough to do a proper review. Just to let you know this product's there before it ends on Kickstarter, just in case you've not seen it. So this arrived this morning. Kit sent me two prototypes. So these are prototypes you're looking at the moment. The 3D printed prototypes, and the real ones will be injection molded, much higher quality. So my thoughts were these model holders might be better for painting than what I use currently, which is the lid for my water pot. I've done a review of that and I'll put that in the comments below in case anybody's not seen that. That's by Quick Draw Supplies. So what this product is 3 parts. It's you unscrew the top and that's just a bottle cap. It's nothing more than that, although you can get some of these 3D printed or made up with the Kickstarter. And then there's these 2 parts which come apart. So there's sort of the base holder and then a holder for the base holder as well. So blue tack your model onto the lid, screw him back on, and then you can use him just the same as I use my current one, the Quick Draw Supplies water pot lid, or you can clip this part back in, and then it gives you an extra grip, and you can apply pressure above the model, as well as holding it by the handle in any which way, shape or form you need to, depending which part of the model you're painting. So let's attach a model. I'll just show how easy that is. It's the same as my other one. You grab a bit of blue tack, grab a model. Here's one I've painted earlier. You may have seen previously on Watch It Paint It. Anyway, so let's just attach that to this bottle cap. So squeeze him on. You can remove it from the model if that's easy to do, so it probably is. And then once he's on, you can rotate him around like this, which just lets you get any angle you need. And then I normally apply a lot of pressure to the top of the model there so I can get steady and keep my model and hand steady. So instead now you can apply that same pressure at the top of this model holder. So you can see I'm gripping it there instead. So I'm not applying any pressure to the model, which is really important because I paint a lot of weak prototype models, so I often find them snapping. So that's it. So let me show you what it looks like in use, and then I'll give you my first thoughts on it. So here's just a model from Arcadia Quest, just showing you again, a bit of blue tack on this bottle cap, so I'm doing it detached from the model holder this time. Nice and easy, probably quite used to attaching them to bottle caps anyway, and then they just screw on. So I think the bottle cap idea is fantastic, so you just got bottle cap, well I do, bottles all over the house, so these are much smaller and easier to store, and I can just grab them from off the bottle of water next to me, and away I've got a new model holder. So here I'm just applying a wash to this model, and I'm sort of just holding it how I would be holding the cap normally, so it's just a slightly larger grip at the bottom, but I'm able to rotate it, which is good for the fact it's in a larger model holder itself, but I could just rotate my wrist if that bar wasn't in its way. But just showing you what it's like. It's very easy, it's light, there's no effort in holding this, and I'm able to twist and turn it any way I want, like I would normally be able to. And the rotation isn't a hindrance, and it's probably better for my tutorials in that it will make sure that the model's always facing the camera for you. So here I'm just showing a different grip, so I'm holding it sort of halfway up the handle this time. I'm not doing this on purpose by any means. I'm not like, oh, I'll show you a bunch of different grips I can do. I just filmed myself applying the wash to this model, and I'm just zooming through all the various ways I noticed I was holding it. So that's 3 already. After that, I'm going to allow that model to dry, so I'm just showing how quick and easy it is to swap out. So leave that on the bottle cap, take him off, and then next model, blue tack onto the next bottle cap that I've got, just squeeze him back down, make sure he's nice and snug and secure, and then grab the model holder again, and I just fasten him back on, and I'm good to go. So I can keep a bunch of bottle caps and keep all the models I'm working on. So this time I'm showing a different grip. This is a much smaller model, so I'm holding it by the actual bottom and top of the model holder here, and I'm just gonna, this was my idea for painting the tutorial. It might be a lot easier for you to be able to see. Paint all the front, rotate it using the model holder itself, and then paint the side. Nice and easy for you all to see what's happening here, and then gripping it at the bottom of the model holder for this now. So another grip. I just noticed as I was painting them, I was holding it in lots and lots of different ways, and they were all helping. And I've not even used this enough to be sure what's the best way to hold it for depending what you're doing. So lots of experimentation to do. So next up, I was just showing you one of the prototype models I do. So this is in plastic, and it's really brittle. So I've painted a bunch of these since starting the channel, and as I showed you at the start, I apply pressure to the top of the model just to keep my hands as still as possible, and I've snapped so many at the ankles I have to glue them all back together. But using this model holder, you can see that I can apply the pressure above the model itself, so I've got no risk of snapping it whatsoever. Just showing you that I'm using it upside down as well. Again, this is all just naturally happening. So one thing I did notice is large models are not going to fit inside the restraints of that grip. So let's see what you do, and this is all covered on the Kickstarter. They show you this as well. So I just take the cap off, take the previous model off because I've run out of bottle caps now, or as many of you may do if you don't drink infinite amounts of Coke. So I'm going to attach one of my large models, one of the biggest I've got, and then attach into the bottle cap, try and screw him in, and as you can see, hits the holder on the model holder. So what you can do, and it shows you this on the Kickstarter, is just pop off the handle for it and swivel it upside down, and then slide that back in, clicks into place, and then you screw him back in. So you're going to lose the lack to apply pressure above the model because he's so massive, although my hand wouldn't stretch that far anyway, but it does give you a good solid handle to grip underneath for then painting the model. Just make sure it's on the cap properly. I didn't apply enough pressure there. But once he is in place, it's a pretty solid grip again, and it's certainly better than just holding the model and rubbing off paint, which I often do when I've not got a model holder to hold it. So that's a little demonstration of the larger models. So after all those little demonstrations there, I thought I'd just compare my original model holder. I've shown you before, and there's a review which is in the description below, and I think that one's pretty good. I can apply pressure that way, holding down the base to the bottom, but I can't apply the pressure to the top of the model without touching the model and taking off paint off of the top of the model, which I don't tend to mind too much because I then highlight it up. But once you're painting them sideways on and holding the side, I'm taking off paint I don't want to be taken off. So that's my old model painter, and this is my new one. And what I'll be trying to do in the next couple of weeks is working out if this is better than my old one, and that's what I'll be doing in a review in the future. So for now, I guess, what are my first impressions? This is cool. I really do like it straight away out of the packet. The pressure at the top I think is making a huge difference. I'm not going to be taking paint off the top of my model, and I paint a lot of prototypes like this one, and this is really thin plastic, and if I apply too much pressure on the top of where his hat is, he doesn't bend at all. He's stiff, and he's going to snap at the base. His ankles will both snap, and every time I've painted a prototype model made of this, I've snapped it at some point. So the new model holder allows me to apply a lot of pressure. I've applied about as much pressure as I can, and I've not snapped the model holder so far. And this is only a prototype one, so it should be better. Being able to rotate it is handy. I think it's slower than just rotating my wrist, but it does mean I'm not going to catch it as easily with the paintbrush, and then I'm also not going to accidentally smear any of the paint. So other positives is, yeah, it does seem very useful. It's very easy to use. I think it's going to save space overall. I'll just keeping bottle caps around instead of whole model holders. There's tens of ways of holding it, so it's very flexible for pot painting. I think that's about everything from using it only very quickly. A couple of negatives that spring to mind. It's one, the price is 20 times more expensive than my previous model holder, but I think that's to be expected. This is fit for purpose. This is a model holder for painting. My other model holder is just the lid for my paint pot, so you know, there's obviously free model holders you can use. You can just use a cork from a bottle of wine. So take that comment with a pinch of salt. I don't think this is particularly an expensive item. The other little niggly thing I've noticed so far is the height the holder's at. It's nearly as far as I can reach. I've only got another inch or so there, so it feels like it's a bit of a stretch from my hand to the top of the holder. It's a good half an inch higher than the model, so where I'm used to holding, I think it could be a little bit closer. Now I think I might just get used to that given time. I've only used it for a few minutes today, and it's just different, you know, new things are different, so just bear that in mind. That's as much as I've got. I think this is worth a look. Go and have a look for yourselves on Kickstarter. Make your own decision now. I do believe you'll be able to late pledge, so hopefully I'll be able to add that link to the review, which I can do later on and let you know how I really get on with this. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I'll let you know as fast as possible in case it's helping you make you decide. One more thing I wanted to show you was, boom, if you turn out the lights, this one glows in the dark. I think it's only part of the prototype that I've got, but I thought it was quite cool given the number of power shortcuts I have in my house. So I wouldn't advise trying to paint in that mode if you can. If you can, I certainly won't be. Thank you all very much for watching.